think we're live. A little earlier than usual, but there's a game tonight, and we don't get it in the attic, and so they want to watch it in the living room. And I said, that's reasonable. Sure. Because football is usually not on a Saturday night at 7 p.m. Yeah, 8 p.m., but it is. So we're going to 8. 6 to 8 is the official. Well, that's good. Fresh coffee. What's up, Gary? What's up, Juan? Terry, Dave, Ben, Coombs, the Coomster. What's up, Chris, Papa Blue, Fretless Head, John Banks, Tim Thomas, Kevin, SMY3, Rio. My knees hurt. Fast Eddie. And, Ron Padgett, Christopher, Jay Schaff, Rev Gary, Jim Simmons, Landon Bailey. What's up, buddy? And Black Shoer and Tactical and Guitar Man 45 and all usual. You got Matt, Sassy Cat, got Ian, got Nick. We have fellow YouTuber and resident Nashvilleian, RJ Ronkilio. We have Clockwork DG. We have Wendell and Ed and the Metal Edge. House of Twang. Byron K. Aloha. Aloha. Got Rain Blaze. Yeah, I wanted to go with the guitar I got this year. So it was like this. I had the LP nearby. And, it was the Vola. Right, there's a couple this year, but this one was within arm's reach, and do not discount that. Nice. I think I finally have this guitar where I like it. I know what I liked. I was up, I was down. I had the action up, I had the action down. I was like, it's too low, it's too high. I could not find a sweet spot for this guitar for the longest time, but I think I'm there. I think this is it. I'm there. Davidas! What's up, buddy? What's up, Scott? Corey, Fast Eddie, Alex. Got the same SG in Cherry Red. Chris David. Have you noticed that a guitar quality decline in 2020 going on? It's like pandemic caused major demand for guitars manufacturer. All right, Waffle House interns. You're lucky if those are Waffle House interns. They do fret work for even USA models. Oh, yeah. Yep. Forget a Plek machine. Pass me a spatula. Love you too, Tone Lives. We're going to call you Tone Loves. What's up, Ricky? Yeah, coffee and SG, right? Kind of goes together. Coffee, SG. There's a rhyme in there somewhere. Slideshow. There will be a slideshow. What's up, Robert? Sounds great tonight. Good. Been a good year for guitars. Oh, I got guitars and they got the good. I think it's 5-chord, right? Let me go up with some lyrics. Got lots of guitars in the 21. And they have fun. You like country riffs on an SG. It could happen. Hello, Stefan. If you tell everyone in the world that you love them, what's the worst that could happen, right? Yeah, it has a nice fretboard on it. Yeah, it's got the rosewood streaking to it. It's good. And I'll bet it would get a little darker if I give it some, some mineral oil. Someday that plastic is coming off, but it's going to be an event. I have to set like a 4-camera setup, all different angles, different, and then I have to get all the microphones in place. Peel that puppy off. It'll be an event. Do I play slide? Not really. I have some slides. I bought some slides recently. I have a glass slide and I have a metal slide. But no, not really. There's like a. I feel like I'd be better with the glass. And don't forget, I'm in standard tuning. You're not as raspy. I think steel works better when you don't have distortion on. The steel works better when you have a clean tone. If you have a distorted tone, the glass works better. Something like that. I did get a haircut. I got several cut. What's up, Al? What's up, Surf B? What's up with all the rock stars? Their catalogs. I think they're betting that they're. I think you wonder if some of them they can't bring themselves to go through the whole process of commercialization. And they would never really commercially release it to the extent someone who paid hundreds of millions of dollars would. So they sell out to, somebody who's going to go through all the stuff it takes to make that sort of money back. And, they can probably remember a time when they were pulling in crazy money in royalties, and those have really slipped maybe. I don't know. I don't know how the industry's paying out. Certainly the sales market has been replaced by the streams market, and I feel like that's like 1/1000th of the prior. Oh, what's up, Buzz? What's up, Chris? Good amp for a bass guitar are around $300. That's tougher because bass amps need power and big speakers. And $300, it's tough to get those. I got to think Fender probably makes one. See, there I am. I'm playing. Look at me. I'm playing slide. See that? Yeah. Merry Christmas, Steve. I just got these Ibanez. Oh, a Jiva Jr. Nice. Oh, nice. I got to meet Nita Strauss. Oh, very nice. Yeah, I've met her a couple of times at the old some of the events there. You just love slide, yeah. I should, yeah. I've used the bottles for slides like over the top. That work. Again, the glass for a distorted sound. The glass seems to be better than the metal. What's up, Quentin? Can't imagine having 500 million or even 100 million or even a million or even $20. I can get to the $20, but no, even a million feels a pretty long ways away. You know? I have some buzz humming in the background. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I can. I mean, does this make it? Because I just think it's the mic. Did it go away when the mic went away? Or did it stay? I feel like it goes away. Yeah, so it's the mic. There it is. So we can. But yeah. Well, the other thing I could do is turn it down a little bit, but then people say the guitar's too loud and the voice is too low. You know? So I hand it up so you can hear it. Just the raw power of the mighty SG. Well, I've been looking into it. I've been thinking about possibly considering looking at some line conditioners. You know, I have them in the attic for the stereo up there, and it probably makes a difference. I don't know, because I haven't really run it without it, but probably wouldn't hurt to have it down here. You know. But yeah, no, I hear that. Maybe about right there. What is it? That's that same patch I always use, the one I've been using lately, the Brit 87. It's a rig. Greetings from Chile, 66. It was kind of snowing and icing. It's probably going to turn to snow, I think, at some point, but I think we got some warm air with it. But up north, definitely more snow, but you'd have to be up closer to like New Hampshire. We got mostly rain and sort of like snow that instantly melted, and sort of ice pellets for a while, like sleet, and sort of a mixed bag. But you know, the ground's just wet, and maybe the grass is covered with a little coating. You're at 3 inches in New Hampshire right now. Yeah, I think you guys are going to get like 3 to 6 up there. Starting early, yeah, an hour early, and I'm leaving an hour early too. Tears are melting in my eyes. City's on flame, right, with rocket. That's right, BOC, of course, BOC. For some reason I had Sammy Hagar in the mind. I think that's it. Diddle-a-diddle-doo. Nice. There it is. And up to 10 Fahrenheit today. Wow. We're not that bad yet. This is me from Holland. I am from Holland. Yeah, I still got my hair for now. Though I tell you, when he was cutting it, I look back and is it possible that the last time I got my haircut was in June? And it might be. I was looking back, and I was like, no way, you had to have it cut in September, but I don't know. I don't think so. Sound reminds me of Hagar's heavy metal. Yeah, right. That's probably what I was thinking of, right. You still have that Firefly FF338. You're thinking of someone else, bro. I've never had a Firefly guitar here. Bought some clippers and cut my own hair. You know what? I was having my son do it for a while. But, we can just go to the barber now. It's, it used to be like you had to make an appointment and everything, but I can just walk in now. Have you ever tried Rotosound Pure Nickel? No. In fact, we were talking about that earlier. Talking with somebody about strings. And boy, I started out Ernie Ball Super Slinky. Played those for, quite a few years. And then I think I was on GHS Boomers for a while. Because there was a guy who used to come in the store and swear by GHS Boomers. And so I tried them. I liked them. You know the psychology of strings. Seriously. And then one of the older dudes was like, I don't like any of those off brands. I only play D'Addario, XLs. And so I wound up switching to those. And I was with those for a while. I was probably with D'Addario for 20 years, And then I switched to Clear Tone, which I will say they did last. Went with Clear Tone for a while, but I'm full circle. I'm back to the Ernie Balls, the old EBs, and you'll find it's. I think when we were talking about it, that they seem to be the two biggest brands out there, Ernie Ball and D'Addario. They seem to be your Coke and Pepsi of the of the string world. And then there's, other ones out there, Dean Markley, at GHS, that, they're not small players by any means, but far from it. They have a following. But I still think Ernie Ball and D'Addario still reign supreme. SG sounds sweet, thanks. A little sweet. You've got to be careful. Some of their songs. It's like, right, or I could go. You could always just do that. Buddy Fingers and Black Diamond Strings. I remember Black Diamond Strings. Black Diamond's been around actually for a while. Black Diamond Strings. And then recently, I remember Black Smith Strings were out for a while. But I think they've been sold around a little bit. Like I'm hitting something. I'm hitting the... Hear that? Something's hitting. No, it's not hitting the pickup though. I'd have to go. Taco, taco. Yeah, a little bit earlier. Ernie Ball Cobalts. Yeah, I never... You know what I did? I think I was using the cryogenics for a while. They were bright. What's up, Lamb? Glad to see you. Been using Ernie Ball since high school, a very long time. Yeah, I was Ernie Ball Super Slinky for the longest time. Pink Pack Super Slinkies. And then I think when I was on the GHS, I was still on 9s. I was probably still 9s when I started with D'Addario, but then I moved to D'Addario 10s. Then I moved to D'Addario 11s for a while, right? Because you're just, a little bit of a brag. Yeah, I'm playing 11s. I don't know what you're playing. But really, it was just because I kind of like the feel of them on the scallop fretboard, and I think that everybody thought that, Stevie Ray was using heavy strings. It was probably a little bit of that influence. But the 11s they beat you down. That's a lot of tension. I wound up just going back to 10s and sort of sticking with 10s. I can even see myself going to 9s. But I don't know, sometimes I play 9s and they do feel a little too slinky. I'd probably get used to it, though. I should just switch to 9s. But then sometimes you feel like you don't have the right control. It's like you almost need a little pushback. It's kind of hard to explain. Been using D'Addario for 35 years. Now, I think D'Addario and Ernie Ball are going to be your two major players out there. What's up, Dan of NJ? I think that's what I didn't like about the I think they were Dean Markley, right? The cryogenics, right? They were bright. They were noticeably brighter. Wasn't crazy about it. At first you think you are. Then you're like, but then you play regular strings and you're like, oh no, these sound better. You wind up going back, right? If you do a little side by side, you know what? You know there's a serious placebo effect going on when you get strings, right? It's like when you get a new pair of, running shoes, and all of a sudden you think right? God, the new tennis racket. Oh, not really. New anything. It's like, no, you're still kind of the same. Yeah, I still have a few packs of 11s left. I'll give them to charity. Do a couple of giveaways. You get a pack of 7s and a pack of 11s. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking of buying those. You can have them. Yeah, that's probably right, RXR. We go through periods of tone chasing our heroes. Absolutely. And then years later you find out it was a money deal. They chose that brand because they were getting paid. Cool. No, that makes sense. She become more and more cynical and disillusioned. I mean, he just did it for the money? Yeah, kinda, yeah. Oh, that is good. Coffee. Nice. All right. Well, we got a few people here. Let's let me call up the old slide projector. We'll turn the lights down. Not really. And we will go through the year that was, the rewind that is 2021. And the year starts off a little. Well, a little depressing. Okay, I don't want to bum you out, but that was the price of a 50s reissue MIJ Strat in January, 6 1/4. Right now, you can't get a 50s MIJ Strat on Guitar Center used for less than like $900 or $1,000 bucks. So I'm going to say prices are up a little bit. In the same vein, there's an SG Standard. Now, it's in fair condition. Maybe it's got a chunkly out of it, but for $579, I'm willing to deal with anything that's wrong with it. Was it have a buzz? Was it need? What does it need for $579? Whatever it is, I can deal with it. I'm not going to lie. I haven't seen deals like this for an SG Standard with trapezoid inlays and Clousson tuners for that kind of money since last winter. It's been a little supply and demand issue, and yeah, prices up. A little computer I whipped together for my son. The RAM, you would even say it glows. And that was the first guitar of the year. I had to go back and check the specs, check the photographic evidence, and Stoner Shark was the first guitar of the year, with a mahogany body and an ash top in sanded faded blue. The roasted maple neck. It matches up with the humbucker in single coil array to make a vintage but modern sound. That's actually a really awesome guitar. You know what I like about it? They weight relieved it. The other one was kind of heavy, like Les Paul heavy. That was the system I built for myself back in January. What kind of hawk? Tomahawk. The old Cooler Master. And there it is all together. And running. I even got the RGB. And that was my first little thing from Ernie Ball. My Slinkies. Got my Paradigms. Got my my Ernie, my winders, everything. Oh, Vinny P. Oh, buddy. Hold on, we got to go back. We got to go back to Vinny P. Thank you, Cam. Thank you, buddy. Very generous. Much appreciated. So that was nice. Merry Christmas, Vinny. That was the new furniture in the attic. Remember we got the new furniture? That's it. And we got a new roof. Oh, what an exciting year. Vinny, that 50's going straight to that paying back the roof. And you know what? I sort of rediscovered scanning. Bought a new scanner. And started scanning my mags again. In fact, I can show you a little bit of that later. Remind me. Someone in the comments remind me later about showing you some mag scans. You know. And here I am about to string it up with the Ernie balls. I don't just dig them. I paradig them. Yeah, okay, again. Help me out here. I gotta think. I swear to God, remember last week? Do you remember last week? We looked at a guitar and I said the body looks like it's brand new. We saw it on like Reverb, right? And it was like, what was it, like $8.99 or like $10.99 or something like that? I swear to God, that's the guitar. Right? A dude saw this on Guitar Center used and he threw it up on there, and I swear to God, that's a respray. I would go through these photos, but this is a static image. But again, $4.99 for an RG560. Yeah, sign me up. I'll do that. Those are the next guitars to come in, the Harley Bentons. They're both actually really nice guitars. They sort of fixed the big hole, right, in their lineup, which was, they got a lot of the stuff down, but their pickups were a little lacking. That was like the one thing that like kept them. Of course, the name is terrible too. I'm on record. I don't like the name Harley Benton, but if you can get past the name, then the only thing that was holding you back with, the pickups with those Roswell pickups were just sort of okay, not terrible. I've had worse, but not like great. These EMGs are actually really good. These EMGs are actually way better than expected, and they breathe new life into the Harley Benton value proposition by, giving you, I want to say the one on the left is like $3.99 or $4.90, and the one on the right's like $4.99 or like $5.25, something like that. So, we're not talking and that's like their most expensive guitar, this one here. Remember the Schecter. Remember that? I know, Harley, right, Landon? The worst name in the business. It's like, they're like, well, we wanted it to sound American. And I was like, did you talk to any Americans before you did that? They're like, yes, the Harley Benton sounds very American. Yes, agreed. I also agree. That does sound very American. I'm like, that sounds like a law firm. Yeah, we hardly knew ye. I want to get another one of these. I got to say, I like this guitar. It had the ebony fretboard with a big giant crack in it. That's why it went back. But, that Sustainiac pickup, that's the problem. I can get them all day long without the Sustainiac. If you were waiting for a Sustainiac, man, a little bit harder to show up on the market. And they're getting a little bit more money for them now. So, anyway. Oh, man. Yeah, that's the day I got it too. You can see the fretboard needs a little bit of Earl on it, but that's okay. You just had to Earl it up, and it'll be good to go. Yeah, God, I like that one. That's a good one. That was the next one. The old classic. Oh, there's a great shot of it. See, I think I oiled it up then. See, what a difference. Look at the old board on there now, right? A little darkness. Though, quite frankly, that pic may have come off of Instagram, which, hashtag filters. It's up, Strat Tom. You're never too late. You're okay. We got to start early. Oh. Hello. How are you? Henning. He's like, are you dumping on Germans right now? Maybe a little bit. Maybe a wee bit. Oh, I love my German friends. Oh, I think that's the SG. Is it? It is. There she is, SG. Fresh out of the box. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm wearing it right now. Oh, and there they are, touching butts. This is the guitar version of Scissoring. And, yeah, they've become best of friends. What you see right now, it's illegal in like 3 states. Oh, of course, the dank side. So, here's the deal. Keeley has the dark side, which is the Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon pedal. It's amazing. It's like a fuzz, a rotary, phaser. It's got a delay. It's got a whole bunch of crap in it, right? It's an amazing, amazing pedal. But on April 20th every year, he puts out a special edition called the Dank Side. This is the Purple Kush edition. And I cried and whined like a baby. I really want one. and they sent it to me. And I love them every day for it. And I say thank you, because it really is an amazing pedal. If you want a pedal that pretty much is the sound of the Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon album. And quite frankly, a lot of the Wish You Were Here album. That's a good one. Yeah, there you go. There's also another pick of the LP. I like that pick. Kind of shows off the contours, you know. And there's your weight. For the LP, you got your 9.92 pounds. For my metric people, that's 4.5 kilograms even. And the SG is a little lighter at 7.52 pounds. And again, for my metric friends, that would be 3.41 kilograms. And that's about that time that the pollen showed up. Yeah. Oh, what a year. Yeah. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, trees. And I picked up a Modi X, which is an amazing keyboard. The new firmware, the splash screen, is actually gray. It was like a 360 meg install. And it's just Yamaha, you know. Great stuff. Yamaha Modi X. And I love it. I've been wanting one for years. I said I'm buying it. Damn it, I'm buying it. There's another shot of it. The two keyboards at the top I no longer have. I had this Korg for a while, but it's a pretty old keyboard. And I got this as because I was trying to be Davi Das for about a minute, but let's face it, no one else is. It's just him. So I got rid of both of these, and I used it to help pay for the Modi X. But I did pick up a Korg Wave State, and I got the Rev. It's a nice little double shot there. You got the Rev G20, an amazing all tube amp with a little 2 notes captor basically built right into it. And the Korg Wave State, which at the time this photo was taken was the first gen, but they, on the night of the big hurricane, they actually released 2.0. So as I sat here waiting for the basement to flood, I was updating the OS on this. How's that for multitasking? Oh, and there's one of the floods. It's an earlier one. That's the start. Cats are still thinking about, like, jumping around, but when we get here, they're not too happy about it. And a couple minutes after that, it's starting to fill in. And then it just goes, like, full on, like, knocking power out and, bottles floating around. That's actually probably lower than it was because you can see the rug a little bit. But yeah, that one sucked. Kind of crappy. And there it is, literally the next day. I got the shop vac out, little wet dry vac. And I bought those drying fans this year. I should have taken a photo of those. Those have been a godsend. I like the drying fans. They work. I picked up an Uno. That's an analog synth. It's a 3-voice paraphonic. Here's the thing. Here's a problem. Okay, let me just tell you the problem right now. I was able to get it to update, right? So they put out firmware, but they put all their firmware behind a paywall. And when I went to go update it, they're like, "Oh no, that's like used." I'm like, "Yeah, no shit." So just send me over the firmware, brah. And they're like, "Well, you're gonna have to get them to transfer the license." I'm like, "A license for what? It's firmware." And I basically browbeat them, probably with a few threats of class action suits, into them finally giving it to me. It took 20 messages back and forth for them to send me the editor librarian and the friggin' firmware update. I got to do a video on that. It's when software companies try to get into hardware. They have no idea what they're doing. Oh, thanks to Lamb, off to bed. Thanks for all the vids. Have a wonderful Christmas. Yeah, Merry Christmas to you too. Thanks so much. Yeah, that's what I have. I have CS. I have a Craftsman, CS Craftsman shop vac. It's wet dry vac. Works great. But that's what you need to do, right? You got to pull the filter off, right? And there's like a foam filter you can use, but really, but God, IK Multimedia pissed me off so hard. Eventually we got it, and I was able to update it, but goddamn, if they didn't like make me jump through hoops for like about 6 weeks. It felt like a waste of both our times. Just put the firmware out. Let me put it to you this way. If you don't own the hardware, the firmware and the editor librarian are worthless. It's like a concept they just don't understand. Start of the Kramer, which is all done. I just got to shoot the video, which maybe this week. I got a good feeling about this week. I feel like I say that every week. But yeah. But I could probably wrap that over the edge a little bit, get a little more content. Anyway. Making a template. And then drilling it into, God, I love this, what is that? Mossrite? Mossrite, is that what that is? Anyway, getting those going. Those are the Bournes, no frictions. And then you got your toggle, and your PT is your pickup toggle, and your other, remember, you're backwards. That's the other thing you have to do, is you're upside down. All right. And so when you flip it over, that PT is going to be on the left, not the right. Like it is there. Masonite, thank you, Masonite. And we're just loading stuff up, getting things soldered, and then it's all done. The one thing I will say about when you're soldering is never use tight wires. I always like to use a ton of slack, because later on, if you ever want to work on it, you can pull one pot out and it easily pulls out because you have so much slack to work with. You know, people get cheap. They don't want to use the line, or they think it looks neater by making it straight. Incorrect. For any electrician will tell you, when they open up a box and they don't see a lot of coiled up in the box, they're like, amateur, cheap amateur that won't leave anything. What the box needs to get moved, right? There's all kinds of stuff. So and I remember a guy working on my doing some work down here, and he said, "Who put this line in?" I go, "Oh, this guy had." He goes, Pfft. He goes, "No slack in the box, no slack at the jack." He's like, "This is terrible." Like, yeah. And there, I'm starting the cleaning process. You can see the one on the right has been cleaned. The one on the left, especially around here, not so cleaned. Cleaned, not cleaned. So, it's the little things, but they really make it the difference between looking, like an old guitar with new strings on it, or kind of like a brand new guitar. The Yamaha. That was the next guitar. Came in 4 years ago. Was quickly lost amongst a sea of guitars, never to be seen again until several years later, when it magically appeared. So I was cleaning up from a flood, and luckily this was up on a shelf. These were all up in the air. So at least I was smart enough to shelf them, to get them, off the ground. That was the next hurricane, and I got no flooding, none. I had the new pump in there, and I kept waiting for it to flood. But again, we had this break, this like massive break right here. That was friggin' huge, because we had almost like a lull for a little while, right? Because I'm not here, I'm up like here, like in between this, right, which is this is where the station is in Boston, which is a little north of me. I'm like right in here. and this thing's coming up like this way, you know. So we went into this break for a while, and then it sort of picked up, and then all of a sudden it was gone. I was like, see ya. Oh, yeah, and then, geez, it must have been, is it September already? I guess it is. And my buddy plays guitar for the Jeff Tate, right? Queensryche, Operation Mindcrime. And they're out on tour, and it was sort of a 2-for-1, because opening up was Phil X, who texted me. He's like, hey, I'm in Worcester. I go, at Rascals? Because I'm going to see this dude at Rascals. Yeah. All right, I'll come out. It was a nice time to see everybody. And then Kurt Deemer, I think his name is, this guy here. And if you like the spoken word, you're going to love him. Doing a little fiber optic project. What's up, Aaron Guitar? Doing a little bit of the fiber optic work. Still not live yet, but we're getting there. Got big plans for 2022. Oh yeah, and I picked this up. Oh God, what a score this was. So this is, as it looks from its bells and whistles. It's bells and whistle to the nth degree. Like the keys freaking light up, and you can set up zones that where those blue lights at the end of the keys can change different colors to set up mapping zones, and it's actually pretty crazy. And basically, it's the same people that do the Key Lab. You know, like these are all straight out of like the what do they call that? The Launchpad Pro. It's really from the Launchpad Pro, which they're not great. I gotta say, I do find them a little plasticky, but it's, you know, for Ableton Live, it seems to be sort of the thing, and it's got all the stuff. But these normally these new are like $700, and normally used are like $550, and it was up for like $350. And I called them up. I'm like, bro, is that a Mark II or a Mark III? Because the ad says Mark II, but the photo says Mark III. He comes back, he goes, Mark III. I'm like, write it up. For $350? Yeah. That's a 61 key with aftertouch. Friggin' thing is loaded. So, nice feeling key bed. I was like, nice. Oh, yeah, there's the Yamaha. That's, I think, I had taken after I knew I was going to keep it. At this point, I finally understood. Yeah, I'm going to keep it. Phil X is your friend? Yeah, it's not like we're chatting on the phone every night. But, you know, when he's in town, he'll send me a text and say, hey, I'm in Massachusetts. I'll be like, okay. Where are you? Oh, there's another shot of the Yamaha. Nice. Oh, yeah, and then I did the room this year. Because, it's just so friggin' small. I was running out of places to put shit. So I had to do something. And this is my cedar wall. There's one on the other side where this arrow is pointing. There's one over there, too. But that one I did like a year ago, I think. And this one, yeah. I think I did this one right before the pandemic on that side. And this one I did this year. I was like, you know what, just get it done. Just get the friggin' wall up. That is a very sturdy wall. In fact, the shelving I have up on there, I could put up an 88 key keyboard easily. It would, it's going nowhere. I could hang, 40 guitars on that wall. It's going nowhere. It's, as you can see from the 2x4s up at the top, I have it all tied in with the joists. And I broke out the big gun, the type that kicks back and, smashes the blood vessels in your hand. This might be the last or the second to last photo. This was a synth I picked up for a little while. Wound up returning it. It's it was good. They sold it instantly, and I knew they would, because what's the rack stand in the cedar room? So this is a Hosa. a roll around rack. I'm actually not going to use it. It takes too much floor space, and I just don't have the floor space to give. I'm actually going to, there's a desk off to this left arrow here that you can't see. There's a desk right here. I'm going to put these racks up on the desk. All right. And I'm going to break down the stand and move it someplace else. It just takes up, there's too much empty space here. I can't afford that kind of empty space. People who work in small spaces realize, you know, that's for somebody who has a big giant room and roll it around and whee. But that's not what I have. So yeah, I got the Cobalt there. You can see I got my bench behind it. That's also in that space, and the round rug on the ground. And the THX. Remember I told you those speakers? The THX 2.1s? God, they sound amazing. Can you see them in this photo? No. No, I don't see them. Yeah, and there it is. There's the Cobalt. You know what? The Cobalt sounded good, I'm not going to lie. But it's not real analog. See, you can really hear the difference with that IK Multimedia, man. You can really hear the difference with the real analog versus the virtual analog. Not that it sounded bad. It actually sounded really good. But nothing I can't get through a lot of VSTs. You know, unlike the IK Multimedia, where I feel like none of the VSTs sound as good as that IK Multimedia. When those analog chips are like, you know, working against each other and they're slightly out of tune, right, in the unison, I mean, it's otherworldly. Yeah, you don't quite get the same thing with the virtual analog. And although it had some really good patches and amazing stuff, I just, you know, yeah, I see no more right arrow. I think that's the last one. So that was the last piece of gear that I bought for the year, for 2021. Hold on. So, you know, you know, I tried a few different synths. The only synth that I think is still on my radar is probably the Hydra synth. And, you know, just my luck, they happen to come out with a much more expensive one. They're like, it's 2 Hydra synths in one. Don't get cheap on me. I'm like, oh, I gotta buy that. Oh. That's a box, bro. I know. But luckily, inside the box was the contents on the outside of the box. Oh, that is good coffee. Well, hold on. I'm almost done here. Delish. My acoustic is the late 70s Yamaha thing. Sounds great. Plays nice. Yeah. I had a Guild that was all beat up. I bought it off. A dude sold it to the music store for like $100, and I bought it off of them for like $200. And it was beat up so bad, like one of his like younger brothers had like gnawed like the corner of the head. It had like bite marks, teeth marks, from like the kids in that house. It was just destroyed. And but it was a Guild D40. And God damn it, if that thing just didn't sound amazing, you put some fresh strings on it, oh my God, did that thing sound awesome. Just bought a Cali Audio LP6 from Sweetwater. Nice. First pair of studio monitors. Nice. I'd buy monitors and get some software. Would have too many rail hams to duplicate. Yeah. What about the Johnson Millennium? I don't think. Exactly. So get him an IV. Just bought an espresso maker. Nice. Love the Americanos. There you go. Now I need another cup of coffee. I'm sure there's some left up there because I was out of the house a lot today. Exactly. I need the shotgun bong. Did I ever tell you about my friend who shotgunned a beer in the parking lot before school? It was one of the funniest. We laughed the entire day. we're in the student parking lot, but it's off site. It's actually, you have to park in the parking lot and walk down the street a little bit, right? So literally on the other side of some train tracks. You got to park, walk over the train tracks, and then go walk down a little side street to get to the school. And my friend had one of the kids from our group had like a beer left over. I don't even think it was a Budweiser. It was some crappy beer. I forget what it was. Oh, God, what was it? Oh. Might have been a light or something. I forget. Anyway. Oh, God. Because the reason why they would buy it is because they go up to New Hampshire, it'd be so friggin' cheap. Anyway, it's in like the floor of his back seat. It's like 7:20 in the morning. And and it's warm out. Someone one of my friends dares him to shotgun it. He's like, I'll shotgun it. And he's like, shotgun it. And he winds up. You ever shotgun? You know what it's trying to shotgun a beer? You take a can opener and you cut a triangle in the bottom, right? You hold the beer upside down, you poke a hole in the bottom with the thing, hold it up to your lips, and then you pop the top, which allows the air to flow in, and right down it goes. So he shotguns it could have been a Schlitz, right? Or an Old Milwaukee, or Pabst Blue Ribbon, right? And he's like 3/4 of that beer, and right back up again. They even got the whole thing down. That thing's foaming in his stomach, right back up again. And we're all laughing. That thing come out like the friggin' Exorcist. And you hear, rip, rip. It was the police. It's the truant officer driving around the lot. They happened to notice an underage kid shotgunning a beer. Oh, God. The hubris of youth. Oh my God, it could have been an Narragansett. Oh my God, it could have been an Narragansett. Yeah, that sounds about right. Right? What's your discount New England beer? You know, working on the black label. Your thoughts on Gibson Tradbuckers? I don't think I have Tradbuckers. Tradbuckers, traditional Pro Les Paul. Oh, that's a good price, dude. And I mixed on the pickups. You know, I don't know a ton about the Gibson pickups. They all sound pretty good to me, and if anything, they always sound a little kind of crispy and bright. I love them. They have a nice bite and edge to them. Well, thanks, James. Thanks for all your videos this year. Oh, thanks, James. Much appreciated. Yeah, Billy Spear, Milwaukee's best. But it sounds like he didn't actually drink it. It was in there for a second. I'd say he might have had 20 seconds of beer in his stomach. And then it was quickly ejected. His body said, no thank you. Oh, God, I remember generic everything. I hated that. Remember when you would go to the store and everything was generic? Right? It would just be like canned corn. Right? Some stores just specialized in that. I really hated that. Body cam on the SG. There we go. It's a little dark, but I think you get the gist of it. A-do-do-do. A-dee-dee-dee. Simple lines weaving. It builds a rich tapestry. What's my ratio of coffee to water? Well, I go by, we have a drip coffee maker, the Queefenfart, the Cuisinart. That, I want to say it takes 14 cups of water, and I just fill the, do a max fill on the grinder and a max fill on the cup. You know what I'm saying? The paper lined cup. Like you can't go too close to the top because you'll overshoot it and it will go down the side and you'll get mud. So you got to leave a tiny bit, right, for a little bit of swelling, right, when you're doing it. But I've got it down to pretty much a science at this point, and we do according to the cup, 14 cups a day. Coffee isn't good for you. I keep hearing it is. It isn't. I don't weigh it now. I don't. It goes by, I just fill the, it's actually, it does work out. It's like the grinder is sort of set for whatever the standard coffee makers are. I do drink a lot of coffee. The tone controls. Here's the tone. And then on the rhythm pickup. And then both. Pretty standard. Like that. Coffee moderation's okay. Yeah. Yeah, 2 pots a day, right? That's moderation, right? Feels out. Oh, damn it, man. That sounds good. That sounds right. That sounds right. That's pretty good. SG or LP, if you had to choose just one, you know what? There was a time where I would have instantly said LP, just because I've played more LPs, you know, but I don't know, I do kind of like the ergonomics and the lightweight of the SG. You know, and I like how far away the neck is from the body. There's some, I don't know that it's an easy decision any longer. Exactly. Weight-wise, you want to go with the SG, but it's a tough call. You know, I haven't heard anything on the new Keeley mini compressor. Any neck news? I have not. What news of the neck? None. I'm hoping for a Christmas miracle at this point. We can switch. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah. Hotter pickups. Yeah. And I got the Kramer right here too, but I did that the last 2 live shows in a row, and people get antsy. Hold on, this just came out of the case here. Let me check. Oh, that's not bad. That's a little low. No. That'll do it. And that's a little Sharpay. Do, 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 do. There you go. There we go. We get back to the old YouTube. That low E. There it is. I need an Explorer. You know, you might be right. I have a Harley Benton Explorer type. And of course, I got the Kramer Explorer acoustic. But, you know, it's not the same. I kind of probably need a Gibson, or at the very least an Epiphone, to have the legit body, you know, shape and headstock shape. One thing I do like is that, you know, they don't change the headstock for the Epiphone versus the Gibson when it gets to the V's on the Explorers. So that's, you know, a little bit of a bone eye. Yeah. Get the Dave Mustaine. You know, the Dave Mustaine, I think I'm holding up. I'd hold off with the Kramer. Probably going to look a little bit more metal anyway. His Gibson one's going to be a little bit more vintage looking. I think it's going to be his Kramer one that's going to be the metal. The Gibson Explorers are so expensive, even used. Well, around here, hold on. Around here, when I look on Guitar Center used, I found the Explorers on there. If you're lucky, you can get one for like $9.99, but really lately they've been more like $12.99. But you can see, I see them on there, $11.99, $12.99, $13.99 for the Gibson Explorer. What about the new Dean guitars? It looks like a Super Strat, from the one I saw Tone King had. Looks pretty much like a Super Strat. Kind of like reminds me of the is it the Jackson or a Charvel? Kind of like the like the DK or something, right? Yeah, the vintage stuff is ridiculously expensive. The problem with the old Explorers is they command a lot of money. But the mahogany Mustaine one so bad. Had an EXPV in the 80s, was cool, but that new one is to die for, yeah. A chord. Play you an A chord. Okay, here's an E chord. There's a chord. Here's a seven, sharp 9. Yeah, V's do suck for sitting down. Although I wear, even when I'm sitting down, I usually wear a strap. Because I don't, a lot of guitars, they just don't sit on your leg the right way, and the neck is too low, and your wrist is trying to turn over it. I always use a strap, even when I'm sitting down. Yeah, I think I'm going through stereo. Should be stereo. Oh, what's up, Milford? I need a V. Yeah, I never really had a V. I had one for a very short period of time. And I didn't like it because it had the open pore. And I just didn't care for it. Oh, Calvin, man. Merry Christmas. Thanks for inviting us into your home, even though we don't stay to clean up the mess at the end of the night. Not too much of a mess. It's usually pretty good. Most people are pretty good. No, the strap is holding it up. I'm not holding it with my hands. Trust me. The strap is absolutely holding this guitar up. Thanks so much, Calvin. Very much appreciated. And Merry Christmas. Strap is good for multitasking, like recording and drinking. See? Yeah. G, a C9, and then a G. Okay. Unless you're going. Unless you mean that one. That's another good one. Yeah, the reverse V's, it felt like they were, they were sort of out of ideas at that point once the reverse V came out. It felt a little desperate. The reverse Explorer is just as bad. It's just as hideous, you know. That said, the regular V, especially the white one, is like just an iconic. There's something about the white one with the dot inlay and the binding on the neck. Oh, it is just perfection. What's up, Steve? Had a Kramer Rhodes style V. Great for recording, not much for live. Yeah. Well, they're big. I tell you, another big guitar was I borrowed Krell Bar's Ibanez, the Fireman, the Paul Gilbert guitar. That guitar was enormous. Really, really big guitar. You can tell it's made for a big person. It's gigantic. I don't know. I don't have much experience with G&L, personally. Not really. I worked on the only one I've ever really played was there was a friend that needed work done on his, and sent it over, and I set it up and got it straightened out a little bit, cleaned it up, and it was nice. But that's the only one I've ever really messed around with, I'm more of a Fender guy, to be honest. I haven't seen Krellbar in a little bit. I hope he's okay. I don't think you've ever seen a Harley Benton Explorer. Really, they've done a bunch. It's called an EX84. EX84. I'd get it, but it's actually up on a wall. It's kind of far away. It's a little tricky for me to get at that right now. But I have a video on it. Just look up my video, and I've used it, I think, in at least a couple of live shows. If you want the extended 2-hour, sound. But I know I used it in a video. I know I've done a video on it. I think that one has the Roswell. You know what? I'm surprised I didn't have that in my slideshow, because I had 2 more guitars. My God, that's right. I forgot to put in the headless guitar, right? The Doulahan and the EX84. I'm shocked I wouldn't have photos of those. That's weird. Anyway, those 2 as well. When you're not noodling on the show, how much playing do you squeeze in around work? Not nearly enough. In fact, I was on a little bit of a roll, sort of practicing for my Christmas tune, which is like delayed a whole friggin' week. But finally, sort of got warmed up enough to do that. That's a little weird when you go back and you play a song that you've played many times before, and it's like hard getting through it. It's like, oh my God, you got to friggin', my chops are like really in the dumps, and so you work on it. It took quite a few plays, and it takes days, and getting away from it for a day and going back to it, and you have to do it every day, run through it at least a half dozen times, and eventually you start to get good, but it just takes time, and you have to keep going through it and going through it and going through it. The first couple of go-throughs, though, are so depressing because it's like it just feels like, what the hell happened? It's like I could play this 10 years ago, and now I'm struggling with it. Never good feeling. Yeah, and the GoPro cam too. Though that's already gone. Yeah, 15 minutes a day is better than 2 hours on Sunday, that's for sure. It's better about the repetition. Do piano players get calluses? That's a good question. I gotta think they probably do. There's just enough friction. Not like guitar players get calluses. But I would think that if you play enough, I would think they probably do. Maybe not nearly as heavy as what we get, but I gotta think so. I know friends that are drummers, and they have calluses where those drumsticks go over their hands, and they go through, they worry about dry skin and, calluses breaking down and getting cracks in their hands, right? Especially in the winter. Their hands get all cracky and stuff, and it's like painful to play. Well, that's a thing. The waitresses, yeah. You ever post performance videos before, like me playing a song? Sure, plenty of them. It's all part of the magic that is my channel. Although I will say I've never set up a playlist. How old a playlist now? About 10 years old? I've never set a single one up. Never did a channel trailer. Never enabled memberships. There's so many things I could do to the channel to boost it, and it's like, do 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 do. Bass can be murder on your wrist. Yeah, I would imagine. Plus, you get a fairly large neck to work around. Any old performance videos when playing in bands? No, not really. You got to remember back then, people were shooting on analog video cassette, big giant camcorders. A lot of that stuff didn't stick around. It's not like digital mediums today, where you stick it up online and 10 years later, everything is still there. In fact, I'm going to be lucky if I can salvage some of my wedding video that was shot 20 years ago. And I got to get that off of 480p, mini, cassette or whatever that is there. The DV mini cassette, mini DV. And get that over like a Firewire, like 1394 cable, and see if I can digitize it and get it on, get it on one of my computers. Storage is so cheap now. Should be pretty easy to do, but yeah, it's hard. It's hard that, that footage is so old. Last time, let me think, last time we had video shot of us, I think we did a show in 87. I think we did another one in 89. I had a different band, and that was in, I think, 90 or 91. That's about it. Probably the last time I was in a band. Bring back stories of telling gear. Well, once you tell all the stories, there's only so many stories, right? There's a finite amount of stories. Like, I just make shit up, but it's not endless material. How about the Epi Les Paul Custom? Yeah, it's great. I play that all the time. You'll see plenty of live shows with me playing that guitar. Yeah, it's funny. People always, and people say that about the Gibsons too. They're like, that thing will be, will just completely fall apart in like 2 years. Well, it's been 11 years, and it's still fine. I think, what do I gave 1, 2, 3 of them away? Definitely 2 of them. And then I've got, but they're not Gibson brand. I got 1 IBI, 2 IBIs, 1 EBH, and then 1 Gibson. I think that's it. I'd have to go look through. We are old, our memory is shot. It happens. No. Started playing guitar in 87. You were 12. I was 21. Your low E is so dead the tuner won't even register. Is it your low E or is it your tuner? Some tuners, I swear to God, they're not calibrated correctly. And sometimes you can't do the high E you can't do the harmonic for the high E. And some of them you can't hit an open low string. It's like the frequency is outside the range. Right? They just got cheap with the chip they're using. That sound good though, huh? Wow, wow, look at the wow, look at the wow, wow. 87 in your late teens. Ripley says he was 23. It's funny because I would go to I'd go to a show and then go ID, and I'd go, I turned 21 in 87. You weren't even born yet. He's like, yeah, I was born in 93. It's like, come on. I still get carded once in a while because some places they card every person. Every single person gets carded, which is ridiculous. I was goofing on a dude in Nashville. He's like, ID? I'm like, you need for the alcohol? He's like, yeah. I'm like, sure. Yeah, Orville's look nice. Orville's, Greco's, Edwards. There's a few different brands out there. Always get caught when you're clean shaven, yeah. There's a few clubs in Boston. In fact, they're kind of switching to this, They won't even let you in the door until you hand them your ID. You need a ID. And they scan it. It goes through like a background scanner, background check, like right there before you even walk in the door. Boom, right in. They go, oh, we need an ID. Yep. Blurp. It's a part of their point of sale software. It feels, it felt more than that. It's like this is outside the building at the bouncers. Epi Les Paul Custom. It's perfect in every way. There's not a single flaw in the entire guitar from head to toe. It's the best everything. So, no issues. Everything's awesome. Perfect guitar in every way. AC/DC on the Gibson. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, I think Zakk Wylde and Slash. You got to remember, in 1987, Les Paul was dead. That was Peter Frampton's guitar, right? The last guy to play a Les Paul was pretty much Randy Rhoads. The Les Paul died with him, and then after that, it was all Super Strats. Everybody was playing a Super Strat. When Slash came out and played a Les Paul, it was like, look at this guy all retro with his Les Paul, right? I mean, it really was. It was just a shot off the bow to like every other player at the time, because nobody was using a Les Paul at that point. Nobody. In fact, Gibson was putting out guitars that were Super Strats, like the U2, and a few guitars like that. The Victory, right? They felt the heat. You know, speaking of Ace Frehley, there's some footage running around there. He played, I forget where it was. Maybe it was in Maryland. I forget where it was. Texas. I forget. But he did a show recently. It's within like 4 or 5 weeks ago. And it's from a single shot, a guy up there, but he has a nice zoom lens. I got to tell you, I thought Ace sounded good. You know, I thought the whole band sounded good. Oh, thanks, Tony. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you too, Tony. Thanks for the killer shows and advice. Hope you're are you having a Christmas show? You know what? I'm leaning towards yes. I'm leaning towards yes. So it'd be a minor. Have to look that up. New Year's Day. Yeah, Tom Kiefer played Black Les Paul in the 80s. Yeah, but I feel like he didn't play that until like I feel like that they didn't really get big until like right around the time, like 80, like 88, like right around the time that Slash came out, right? It was a little revival, you know? Yeah, the Gibson US1 did it, right? I could have sworn they had another one like called the U2 or something like that. And then they had the Victory. That was the other one. Again, sort of all like double cut. The Victory is much older. I feel like that's like 80, 81, 82. And the U2 or the US1, I think that was later on. That was like 87, 88, 89, somewhere in there. Oh yeah, the guy from Y&T. Yeah. Yeah, well, see, Tom Schultz represents the LP. Their big album was in 76. You know, cut to 1984. Nobody's playing an LP. I mean, sure, Y&T, but I'm watching Y&T, you know, play the car show at the at the Bayside Expo Center. So, wasn't like they were actually tearing the charts up at the time, unfortunately. It sort of felt like pretty much with Randy. Once Randy died, the LP was sort of dead by 82, 83. Everybody had switched over to a Super Strat. You know, Charvels, Jacksons, Kramers, you know, that's where it was at. Until Slash came out. I will credit Slash with completely reviving the Les Paul. That band was huge, and he was a huge guitar player, and he was for as much as Steve Vai was influenced the breakthrough for Ibanez. I would say that Slash revived Gibson, which was dead in 86. They literally were sold. Oh, thanks, Steven. Ace Frehley had Gene Simmons' old solo band. Oh, yeah, to get Ace in shape for a couple of Kiss shows in 2022. Oh, yeah, that would be great. I thought they sounded really good. You know, they opened up with, I think, Rocket Ride, and they went into Parasite, and then, what's that? Rip It Out, right? You know, Slash played, I know, a fake LP, right? He had the irony. Oh yeah, Elliot Easton. Elliot Easton was a Gibson player, and definitely I remember him playing a Les Paul a lot. But again, you know, their big album came out in 77, 78, right? Candy-O came out in what, 79 or 80? 79, I think. Again, I really feel like the Cars were sort of like that last sort of 70s band. You know, sort of like Foreigner. Again, Les Paul player. Right? All those 70s bands, it was all LPs. I think Van Halen wanted to play an LP. Because he liked the sound of the humbuckers, you know, but he went with the Strat style for the ergonomics and then just stuck a couple of humbuckers in it. But hold on, let me catch up here. Who brought Fender back? I would say Fender came back when they came out with the American Standard. I don't know that they had a guitar player. You could say Clapton. You could say maybe Jeff Beck, who was a big player at the time. You know, but Fender really relied on Fender was kind of broke. You know, they just went through a buyout, right? And so they weren't, you know, bringing in big endorsees. Yeah, no, Fender, I would say that their revival came when you couldn't get an American guitar for one complete year, 1985. As they you know, they did the buyout and the switch over. And then in 86, they were only putting out two guitars, really the the 57 reissue and the 62 reissue. And then 87, boom, out comes the American Standard. And the rest is history. That really put them on the map more than anything. You know, by 89, 90, they're coming out with the Plus models, and, you know, they're starting to get into signature models. I think Stevie Ray Vaughan had a signature model at that point. Jeff Beck had a signature model that had a neck like the largest baseball bat you ever felt in your life. They later on did a second one that the neck wasn't nearly as large. The neck on that friggin' first Beck was laughably oversized. Like, what were you thinking? This is going to appeal to like 0.0001% of players. It takes a special kind of player to want a neck that big. And I'm sure Jeff Beck wants a neck that big, but damn if that wasn't just a massive, massive baseball bat. Oh, thanks, Christian. Merry Christmas. Yeah, Robert Craig, yeah, Yngwie J. Malmsteen, but I felt like Yngwie really, when did he get... I feel like Yngwie didn't really even get big until about 86, right? 86, 87. Before that, he was the guitar player in Alcatraz, which wasn't really a huge band. And followed him was, you know, Steve Vai in Alcatraz. Again, not a huge band. You know? Yeah, Paul Gilbert. Yeah, he likes the baseball bat next too. Although I will say that the one I had here, that Fireman, wasn't outrageously big. It was chunky, but it wasn't like crazy large. Like that, Jeff, that first Beck one, I mean, what were they thinking? That thing was friggin' huge. Going by a little fast here. Yeah, Rising Force era. Yeah. That sounds about right, 86. They used to have a joke on the radio around here. They used to go, an opening for whoever is Yngwie Malmsteen, which I think is Swedish for opening act. God, they used to be brutal on him around here. You know, with special guest Yngwie Malmsteen. It was always some, you know, here comes, you know, a Iron Maiden with special act, you know, special guest, you know, Yngwie Malmsteen. It was always Yngwie was opening. Although, who did I see that Joe Satriani opened? Bowie. I saw Bowie and Satriani was the opening act. I thought he sounded great. I didn't see Ace play Darklight on the Kiss cruise. I haven't seen a ton of the Kiss cruise footage. It depends, because a lot of times on the Kiss cruise, the other people are so close. There's so much crowd noise, right? What's up, Jazz Flounder? Good to see you stop by. Oh, we have a kitty. Five-minute warning. Getting hungry too. Ready for some dinner. Never got to see Satriani? I saw, and this is absolutely true, Joe Satriani's first concert ever as quote-unquote Joe Satriani. In other words, the album was out. I'm sure he'd played many gigs before, but the album's out, right? Surfing with the Alien. He's going to go on tour to support the album. The very first show of the very first tour, like, you know, for Joe Satriani, is that show I saw at the Channel in Boston. That was it. That was show number one. They ever find the clam? Clammy's still missing. You want me to make some more coffee so I can do a you up? Wouldn't be that crazy. Wouldn't be outrageous. Could happen. 5-minute warning and a cat sighting. Saw Joe Satriani with Eric Johnson opening. Yeah, I'm sure that was an amazing show. You don't think the Pats are going to make the playoffs this year? Things are not looking good. The 7 straight wins. We've only won 7 straight. We'll see. The HM Strat sold well where you were. See, I think, I don't know. I don't know if they sold that well. We carried them. I remember we had them. I don't know. Maybe it was more of like, I'm sure they sold well in California and Florida. Seemed more like a summer guitar, very summery. Yeah, I saw him at the channel, yeah. Yeah. Did he play Berkeley? He might have. He came back and played the Paradise that same year. So he played in January, and if you look at the tour, he's back and playing like the Paradise in like May or June, like just a few months later. Happy trails, Robert. Yeah, Graham Bonnet was a phenomenal singer. How can we tell the tone of your guitar is actually what we're hearing when you play guitar? I don't know what that means. Like that like I'm playing to a backing track. The world's most synchronized backing track. Yeah, you didn't think they were going to make the playoffs this year. I think right now they just got knocked out of first place, but I think if they win tonight, they're back in first place. We'll see. Yeah, maybe a late night stream. I know we have to find the clam. Yeah, it's not my real voice either. Exactly. It's a ventriloquist off cam. I saw that China Mike outed the Jimi Hendrix guitar auction as a scam. I didn't know what's the scam. He's saying it's not authentic. That's a bold statement to say from watching someone else in a video. But yeah, exactly. I'm a computer sim. As we often say, the guitars don't play themselves. Went and saw Kiss on its tour, and Paul Stanley sang all of the Gene Simmons songs. That's weird. Yeah, Aldridge is really good. In fact, Aldridge, I would say, would be the guy who tried to be the continuation of Randy Rhoads, but there was only one Randy. But his riffs, his style of playing and his riffs are very similar to Randy Rhoads. Very, very similar. Sort of like a mix of classical and pentatonic. 2 a.m. CET. Really? It's already 2 a.m. for you? Ugh. All right. Well, you know what? That means it's 8 p.m. here. And it's time for me to head off and let the family come down and set up in the living room for the Pats game. And there you go. There you have it. Yeah, sometimes I use a pick. Sometimes. Well, Tommy Aldridge was a drummer. I think the other Aldridge, Doug Aldridge. Aldridge versus Aldrich. Not quite the same name. All right, dudes. Maybe tonight we'll do a late night show. We'll see. But if not, there's a pretty good chance you will see me on Christmas Day, a week from now, which is Christmas. Because you know what? Christmas is mostly over for most people by that time. So, everyone's sitting around, looking for something to occupy their time. There's nothing on. So, maybe I'll be on. We'll see. But there you go. All right, dudes. No, you rock. And I'll see you maybe tonight, but definitely in a week. And Merry Christmas if I don't see you later tonight. And there you go. I'm praying to get like 2 or 3 videos out this week, but I don't know. I got a good feeling about this week. And let me just finish up by saying, thanks to everyone who hung out, but super mega thanks to everyone who contributed tonight. We had some really massive contributions, and that is really appreciated, especially around the holidays. So thank you to anyone who contributed. I really, really appreciate it. And of course, mega shout out to my mod squad. #mod squad. All right, dudes. See you in a week. Until then, rock on.